It's going. Okay. Hi. I am so excited to be here today. For those of you who don't know who I am Mrs. Carlson, and I teach second grade in Killdeer, North Dakota. And I am so excited. I'm combining the things that I love in the world. My students and reading and books. And I hope that by getting to hear a few books that it'll help you to develop a love of reading too. Now, so I tried to pick a couple of books that my class hadn't heard yet. So the first one that I'm going to read today is called Balloon Farm. And it is by Jerdine Nolen and Mark Buehner. Okay, so this is the first time I've ever done this, and I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, I'm a lot nervous. But once I get in the zone, I'm going to be just fine. And my students know I get a little crazy when I'm reading, because I like to take my readers to wherever it is that the book is taking place. And I have a couple little friends here, so that I feel like I am reading to some real people, because they're right here. Okay, here we go. Harvey Potter was a very strange fellow indeed. He was a farmer, but he didn't farm like my daddy did. He farmed a genuine U.S. government-inspected balloon farm. No one knew exactly how he did it. Some folks say that it wasn't real, that it was magic. But I know what I saw. And those were real, actual balloons growing out of the plain old ground. Now, some might need to point out that you probably won't be able to find them all when you're looking at the book today, but maybe if you check this book out of the library, you'll find that on each page there are some animals. There's a pig, and there's a cow, and there's a chicken, and there's a bunny. So on each page, you see if you can find those animals hiding around on the page. Harvey Potter had some of the prettiest colors you would ever want to see on a balloon. Pleasing purple, orange ray sun, yelling yellow, and there was a rip-tootin' red and jelly bean black, bloomin' blue, and grassy green. He had all kinds of shapes too. Round balloons, long ones, animal shapes, clowns with big noses and mouths. He even grew monster balloons with scary faces and great big sharp teeth in time for Halloween. I tell you, Harvey Potter was a strange fellow, all right. To look at him, he was quite plain. Never wore nothing to draw attention to himself. His hair was kept close cropped to his head, and overalls and a shirt underneath were his uniform. There was nothing special about his face, neither. What wasn't so plain about him was the conjure stick he carried with him wherever he went. Sometimes he used it to scratch his back, but mostly he just carried it under his arm. It was Weasel Mayfield who called the government on him. So the government came out to Harvey Potter's balloon farm bright and early one morning. Our whole town turned out for him. And though nobody said what they thought, we all held our breaths, hoping we could keep our balloons. We never knowed how to grow nothing but trees. Maple, sycamore, pine, oak, and regular kinds of stuff like corn and okra and tomatoes. But Harvey Potter grew balloons, and no one knew what he used for seed, neither. Anyway, the government men were standing around in the white coats and white hats and white gloves. They kept us so far back we could hardly see. But I climbed right up in the sycamore tree and saw everything. See, you're up there in that tree. They pulled and they poked, and finally they pricked one of those plants with a pin. And what was supposed to happen did. The balloon popped, and they couldn't argue with that. So they gave Harvey Potter the right to grow balloons. He never asked him for it, mind you, but he took it anyway, just to be polite. Let me tell you, it made everybody happy. Well, almost everybody. Weasel was sore. So I'm going to see if I can find... there's the chicken. Oh, there's the pig. Girls, do you see the cow? Or the bunny? Oh, there's the bunny. Ooh, you'll have to check out the book so you can find the cow on this page. Did you find him? Nope. Gonna find him on the next page. Now, I had quite an interest in Harvey Potter's balloon farm, and I decided I was gonna get to know him. He didn't seem to mind. In fact, he let me get to know him right good. I'd bring him lemonade, sit on his porch and swing in his swing, but he never would confide in me about how he grew those balloons. I didn't pry. After a while, I just liked going around him. He didn't ask no questions about why you weren't doing this or that. He just let a person be. He let a person sit and think out loud sometimes, and, well, it's a mighty good thing to do. Still, something in me was a hankering to know. So I decided I was just going to go out there in the middle of the nighttime. That's when he did his field work. I told you he was strange. To this day, I am indebted to that sycamore tree and to the whole big old moon. It was as full as it was wide that night. I saw him the second he opened the door. He was as plain as day. He stood there on his front porch, hands inside his pockets, looking straight ahead where the fields were. That concha stick was under his arm, and he just stood there, eyes staring straight ahead at something off yonder ways. Then he came down off that porch. Step, step, step. His steps all seemed so big and so loud. It must have been those heavy field boots. He walked down to the field, and without a sign of warning, he commenced to holler. The next thing I knew, he started dancing and prancing with that stick held out in front of him, like it was a dancing partner. Then that stick started to glow a nice orangey color and stood up directly on its own. And when it rose up into the air, Harvey Potter rose up right along with it. The two of them were making some mighty fine footwork, 6 feet or so off the ground. They were a-floating and a-bobbing, while it appeared as if the two of them had turned into glowing balloons themselves. Altogether, it was a very strange sight, which got even stranger. Harvey Potter dropped back down to the ground, grabbed a hold of that stick, and waved it around over his head. He whooped and he hollered and he yelled and he carried on so, yee, ya, 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 yee, ya, 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 ya. I'm not ashamed to say that I was alrighty scared. I would have jumped right down and run for home, but my eyes were just plain glued to Harvey Potter. Then Harvey let go of that stick, and it started to bounce and float over the field, dropping down here and there in nice neat rows. And all the while, Harvey Potter just kept on a-whooping and a-screeching. Yee! Ya, 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 yee! Ya, 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 ya. All of a sudden, that stick came to be a complete halt and flew right back into his hand. And that's when Harvey Potter stopped screeching. He turned around and looked directly up at that sycamore tree. I thought for sure that he had seen me, but I guess not, 'cause he turned back on around and went into his house and didn't come out again. I climbed down and I fell asleep a-waiting. In the morning when I woke up, wet with dew and shivering cold, little bitty colored mounds were popping up all over the ground. When I ran back after supper time, they'd all come up in the glory of that day's sun. I tell you, it was a sight. Harvey Potter saw me out there in his fields, admiring his latest crop of balloons. He said I could take as many as I wanted. I took 3, a clown and an elephant, and I couldn't resist that jelly bean black one. I didn't touch the monster ones on account of that they were just too plain scary. Oh, those were the times. Harvey Potter went right on growing the best, prettiest balloons this side of anywhere. And we never heard a word from that government man again either. As for Weasel Mayfield, he was so riled up over the fun we were having with our balloons that he packed up and moved off to parts unknown. I remember those days well. It was the summer of '58 when I had a hankering to leave home myself to find out what the world had to offer. Harvey Potter, he grew me a balloon that was big enough to carry me off. And that's how I landed in this here place. Never did go back home and never did want to. This here place was just right for me. And these days, I farm. And I'm not one to brag, but I've harvested my 32nd crop of balloons. Now, I don't grow mine the exact same way as Harvey Potter does, on account that I'm not Harvey Potter. I have my own methods. Maybe I'll show you someday. The end. I always say that when it's very obvious that it's the end, but the end. Now, the other one I'm going to read today, this is more for the younger kids that doesn't have quite so many words on the page. And this one, my grandkids haven't heard this one either. Hi, guys. It's called The Star of the Zoo by Virginia Zucker. Little star twinkled like a diamond in the clear night sky. Far below her, the zoo was still and quiet. The animals were getting ready for bed, and then suddenly, got your attention, didn't I? Because it said suddenly. Little star lost her balance and tumbled out of the sky. Down, down, down she fell, like a shooting star. She left a sparkling trail all the way to the ground. Ouch! She cried as she landed with a bump. All the animals ran to see what had happened. Uh-oh, are you all right, little star? Asked Zebra. Can we help you? I need to get back in the sky so I can twinkle like a diamond, little star said sadly. I'll help you, said Lion. I am the strongest animal in the zoo. Lion picked up Little Star and climbed onto a rock and lifted her high into the air. Lion could lift up Little Star easily, but he couldn't reach the sky. I can help, called Ant. Laughed Lion. You're too small. You can't help. I'll help you, said Monkey. I'm the best climber in the zoo. Monkey picked up Little Star and jumped into a tree. He swung through the branches to the very top. Monkey could climb as high as he could, but he still couldn't reach the sky. I have a plan, said Ant. Laughed Monkey. You're too small to help. I can help, said Giraffe. I'm the tallest animal in the zoo. Giraffe picked up Little Star, stood up straight, and stretched her neck as far as she could. Giraffe was very tall, but she couldn't reach the sky. "I know what to do," called Ant. Laughed Giraffe. "You're too small. You can't help." Little Star's brightness was fading. "I have to be back in the sky before sunrise," she cried. "Give me a chance. I can help," called Ant. The animals all just stared at Ant. What could she do? "Well, if you think you can do it, you might as well try," said Lion, rolling his eyes. Ant scuttled off. She came back, not with 10, not with 100, but with thousands of friends to help. Ant picked up Little Star and climbed onto another ant's back. That ant climbed onto another ant, and that ant climbed onto another. The tower of ants grew higher and higher and higher until they reached the sky. "You did it!" shouted Little Star. All the animals cheered. "Anything's possible if you work together," Ant said proudly. Little Star smiled, happy to be home. She twinkled like a diamond all night long. Far below, the animals finally snuggled down and went to sleep. The end. Now I think about working together just like all of our communities are working together. With all of the problems that are going on right now, we can still be friends, and I'm hoping that some of my students picked up on some of the similes in there, that like a diamond, and compared it with some other books that we've read about friends working together. Well, I guess my time is up for today. It's been really fun. And I will see you tomorrow if you can make it back on here at noon. Thanks for watching. Bye.